I don't understand it. First, you want to be a stick-up kid, right? But then you got shot. Now you're a base head. You're all messed up, man. Your life is trash. And now
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. And we are back here with another town hall, the place where we sit and talk about issues that affect the community. In this town hall, I feel as though we really need to have a discussion because a lot of people, because of miseducation in the United States and because of emotional issues that have occurrences rather that have happened in the past, don't seemingly understand the definition and what is colonization and what is integration when it comes to life. What is, I won't say better, but what is a more productive path that tends to work more than others. So before we get into this, I feel as though the best way to start this is to give you guys a definition of colonization, give you some kind of breakdown on it, and give you the definition of integration and give you some kind of breakdown on it, so we can set a premise, a precedent rather, on what I mean by colonization versus integration. And we're going to relate that to the travel community. We're going to relate that to the dating community. We're going to relate that to a lot of different communities in this conversation. This conversation, like I said, it'll be 30 minutes. And after the 30 minutes, you guys can ask me any question you want about anything. But this topic, I feel as though needs to be on my channel and it needs to be discussed. So shout out everybody in the room that's coming in the room later on, that's here now, or who's watching this on the replay. Let's go into the definitions of colonization and integration, starting with colonization. Now, these definitions are from Oxford. If anybody wants to know, it's from Oxford Dictionary. All right. So, colonization, noun, a noun, the act of taking control of an area or country that is not your own, especially using force and sending people from your own country to live there. Okay? I'll go more into this first before we move into the next definition, but let me give some examples that, people wouldn't automatically assume this is colonization, but it is. Okay, I'm from the United States. I'm an expat. I know that if I go to Brazil, if I go to Colombia, if I go to Thailand, if I go to any other country, that Dominican Republic, any other country, I know there's a chance that my buck will go further in that country. So I want to go to that country. And you have two different type of people that go to the country. I'm not saying one's good. I'm not saying one's bad. I'm just giving you two certain type of characteristics. Remember, colonization and integration. In fact, let me give you the definition for integration first, because you might need to know that when it goes to this. The definition for integration: the act or process of combining two or more things so that they work together. And now let me go back to my thought process. Let me bring back the what's the name, y'all. All right. Well, you guys couldn't see it, but you got the definition. All right. So check this out, y'all. You have two people. One person, and let's just use, I don't know, let's use Colombia, because everybody looks. Let's use Colombia, right? You have two different type of people. You have two people. Now, remember, there's no good or bad. You have two people. One says, I know I can get more bang for my buck if I go move to Colombia as an expat. They go to Colombia, they take the United States dollar, they take the United States customs, they take the United States vibe, and this is what I'm not saying it's bad or good, I'm just saying what they do. Then you have another person who also takes the United States customs. They take their money, they take their ways. But this person tries to learn the culture of the country he is in, or she. If I go to a country, if I've been there 2, 5, or 10 years, and I haven't learned the language to a significant amount, if I haven't made friends with people who are from that country, I do not mean other expats, I mean people from that country. If I haven't made friends with people from that country, if I haven't worked together with people from that country to do things like maybe help out it's not about help out a orphanage or something, or if I haven't went and communicated to the people to help them with something that I knew that maybe they didn't know, or even just made friends that we go out and we go to different events together from that country, well then you have to look at more of that's a colonization method and not a integration method. So when things occur that you feel as though how do I say this? That you feel as though wouldn't have occurred in your own country, but all you did was take your culture and move to another country and keep your culture without, like the definition said, without, let me bring it up for you guys so you can see it. Hold on a second. Like the definition said, without working together, without integrating with that country, well then you can't be surprised if the energy you get back is negative, because people don't, countries, from my experience of traveling around the world, countries don't appreciate colonizers that come to their country and try to put their people in front of, put themselves above their people that's there. And I know everybody says, "Oh no, but if I've lived somewhere for a long time, that means I integrated well." But that's not really the definition. I just gave you guys the definition. Now people can have your thought process, but I don't want to say a fact. A definition is a definition. Another thing, when people, all right, so another reason why I feel as though, and I'm going to tell you guys, I feel as though integration for our community, as far as whether you're a United States citizen, as far as whether you're a Black person, or as far as whether you're a person of poverty, integration works better if you are really integrating, because sometimes people consider stuff integrating, and once again, it's not integrating, it's colonization. If you know the history of the world, and this is in the history books, this is a perspective, this is in the history books, this is still a perspective. If you know the history of the world, then you understand how British rule and European rule colonized the whole world. Let me put me on the big screen again. If you understand the history of the world, you understand how British rule and European rule colonized the whole world. I mean, English is the #1 language in the world, and it was this way because what happens is that when Britain, at the time, the Europeans would go to India, they would destroy everything, all the civilization. And then they would rebuild the civilization based on the English language, based on British and European teachings. When Europeans and Britain got to, now I'm not saying good or bad, I'm just telling you what the history is for those that don't know. When Europeans and Britons got to Native America, and it was in Mexico, right? And they met up with the Mayans, and they didn't agree with what the Mayans was doing. They burned, they destroyed, and they rewrote history based on the European perspective. This is called colonization. Now, the reason why I feel as though colonization it doesn't work in a more productive way than integration is because when you integrate, you learn from each other. When you learn from each other, I might have problems that you can solve. But if I destroy your community and then build my community based on your community, well, then guess what happens? Well, then the problems that you could have fixed that I have don't get fixed because you didn't integrate with me so we can go back and forth and share ideas. You colonize, so now everyone only knows your idea. Hip hop, it did not. Hip hop right now is currently the number one, not only genre, but the number one culture in the entire world. There's hip hop in Russia. There's hip hop in Britain. There's hip hop in Africa. There's hip hop in Australia. There's hip hop in the North Pole, South Pole, Alaska, United States, Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, all different languages. People who cannot communicate with each other. People who cannot communicate with each other share the same culture through hip hop. Why is this? Did hip hop colonize the world? By no means it did not. Hip hop did not colonize the world. What hip hop did was create a form of integration. From a small section of a big city in New York. Hip hop was developed from people that look like me. And then it started for people who was from Latin America. And then it was from people who was from Europe. And then it was from people who was from China, Asia, and everything integrated so well because it wasn't, hip hop does not try to colonize people. What it does is this is hip hop. We allow your interpretation of hip hop, and it's still under the hip hop branch. You see, hip hop is literally the proof that colonization could have been done a different way. And it could have been done a way where everyone is able to share and to learn from each other, because that's what hip hop did. So when I start to apply all this to everything else, like as I said with the travelers, and let me give you an example with the whole situation right now, and I'm just speaking in general, nobody in particular, with dating coaches and passport or travelers and stuff, right? If you are making a reference on somebody's life or somebody's culture, whether it's you're talking about dating coaches, whether you're talking about people who travel, whether you're talking about women who don't agree with certain guys do when they travel, or guys who don't agree with certain women in the States. Every single person has a bit of colonization in themselves when they do this. Let me explain to you what I mean by this. Example: there are first let's start with the travelers and the dating coaches, right? So there are people who don't travel internationally and they date in the States, and they feel as though that the reason why people travel outside of the country, and the only reason, is because they aren't able to get women in the States. But see, that thought process is partially learned from colonization, because what you're doing in that thought process is saying, I'm going to give my perception of what I think this person is doing without working together with this person to find out what they are really doing. And it's the same way in reverse. I'm a person who travels the world. If I go up to a dating coach and I say, "Oh man, you just want people to stay here so you can make money," but I've never sat and talked with the person and said, "Hey, let me understand from your perspective. Let's work together to see if I can understand why you feel the way you feel, and let me give you my knowledge on why I feel the way I feel. And if you don't agree with me, that's one thing. But if you're giving your perspective of what I'm doing without consulting me first, well, then you're just a colonizer. You're just a colonizer, and I don't fall on either side of any equation. And I reference that again to the women. You have people in this and people who travel internationally. You say, I can't stand United States women. I can't stand Black women in the United States. I can't stand this United States mentality of how the women treat their men. But have you ever gone to the woman and said, hey, I'm going to tell you how I feel about this subject, and then you can tell me how you feel about the subject. Now, we don't have to agree, but if I'm making statements on what I think you are without discussing it with you, well, then I'm a colonizer too. It's not about wrong or right. It's about colonization versus integration. It's about I'm gonna go back to the definition. I'm gonna keep bringing these definitions up. It's about taking control of something that is not yours by force versus working together to combine a process of things. It's colonization versus integration. And whenever I see, me personally, whenever I see black men and black women arguing about whether you travel overseas to get women or whether you're not treating black men in the States, I'm looking at both sides like both of y'all are colonized. Y'all following colonizer ways. Because that's not how hip hop grew. And hip hop came from us. You see, people don't understand this. Black people in the United States and in America pretty much, but I'm going to mainly say black people in the United States. We are the only people in the world who do not have a nation to attach to. We're the only people in the world who do not have a nation to attach to. Black people in Africa, depending on what country you're from. If you're from Ghana, you're Ghanaian. If you're from Nigeria, you're Nigerian. If you're from South Africa, you're South African. If you're from Haiti, you're Haitian. If you're from Dominican Republic, you're Dominican. We're not United States citizens. We were slaves for 400 years. And here is what made this work for us. Because as black people in the United States, because we don't have a country to attach to, we made a culture through integration. Our culture in the United States is based, as black people, is based on integration. We didn't come from a country that had culture. Everybody, that's why me personally, I don't use the term for myself African American. The reason why I don't use my term African American is because you are, I think a person, me personally, my belief is that if a person calls me an African American, what you are doing is you are downplaying what what black people in the United States went through, because you're trying to attach me to a culture that I know nothing of. No, we were stripped of our African culture before we even left Africa. If you do the research, it wasn't they brought us to America and they made us these slaves. No, they stripped us of our culture before we came here. And if a person is calling me an African American, I feel kind of disrespected because of the fact that my black culture in the States, what we created out of nothing, we just took from different cultures. And we made something of it. No other culture in this world. No other culture in this world has a culture that's based on every other culture. We took from Haitians when they came to the United States. We took from Dominicans. We took from Colombians. We took from Brazilians. We took from Europeans. We took from Canadians. We took from Indians. We took all these cultures and we combined them in a pot. We stirred them up and we made magic out of nothing. That's what we did as black people in the United States. So when we create and master the art of integration and we put it in something called hip hop, and then that integration spreads and spreads and spreads. So now I can go to Asia and they don't even have black people like that over in Asia. But when they see us, yo, man, what's up? And I know a lot of people might say and I'm trying not to curse now because I know YouTube got all these new policies. And I know people might say the N-word is so disrespectful, it's so this and this. But if a person did not enslave me, why would I feel offended because you're using the same term I use in my culture? I would only feel offended if it's a person who enslaved me. Me personally, I don't even care, because now we're going to get to the point of emotions and miseducation leading people to not understand integration versus colonization. You see, a person gets married, right? Oh, yeah. Make sure I'm covering the label. I don't got to deal with them yet. 1 second. A person gets married, right? And they're like, I found the love of my life. I'm going to love her forever. She's going to be with me forever. And then that man gets divorced in the United States. And then she takes him through the ring of the road because, once again, people are blaming the women. But really, if the laws did not allow the women to get what they get, then it wouldn't be the women acting this way, because the difference between women in the United States and other places is that the laws in the United States permit this stuff to go down. The laws in other countries do not permit this stuff to go down. The women will change if the laws change. So please stop saying it's the women who are the problem. It's not women in the United States. It's not black women in the United States. It's the laws that allow them to get away with stuff. But let's get back to the story. So a man breaks up with a man gets divorced from a woman. She takes him for 60% of what he has kids with him. He has to pay child support. He has to pay alimony. He's upset. He's mad. I hate black women. I hate women in the United States. Why? Because the emotionist behind it is what's causing him to not understand what the real problem is. So they lash out. And now that they lash out, they go to another country and they say, oh, these women are so perfect. But you know why? Because emotionally, they're still so distraught from what happened in the States that they can't take the time to stop, pull themselves out of their mind, and look at the scene that's in front of them. And I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just pointing out the way things work. And then they go over in another country and they kind of become colonizers because our United States dollars go further. So we can go to another country and colonize. And I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just pointing out, again, what by definition it is. Again, what is the definition of colonization? The definition of colonization is the act of taking control of an area or country that is not your own, especially using force. Is money force? That's debatable. It's debatable if using your money is force. It's debatable. But sending people from your country to live there, it's not really too debatable. It's really not too debatable. Especially when you don't integrate, bringing up integration. When you don't integrate, when you don't combine with the people in that country to learn to work together. I'm going to tell you this. And I'm going to get to your comments because I see y'all commenting in the room. I gotta shout it out. But let me just tell you this. And then I'm probably gonna be letting you guys ask questions after that because we almost at 30 minutes already. I'm from North. All right. Excuse me. I'm from North New Jersey. I'm black. My mother's black. Grandmother's black. Great grandmother's black. Grandfather's black. I didn't grow up in the Spanish-speaking home. I had a couple neighbors that spoke Spanish. Not a lot. Maybe 5%. I traveled the world. I'm from the United States, so I had money. I didn't have to learn these languages when I go places. Yo no necesito conocer la idioma de español. No necesito você português. Fala português. No necesito parler français. I didn't have to learn any of these languages. But my whole thing was, I don't want to do to other countries what the Europeans and the British did to us as black people. So if I'm going to stand on the principle, I got to learn stuff. I have to at least learn some of the languages when I go places. I have to at least learn some of the cultures. I have to do some research before I go places because I don't want to do what they did to us. Because here in the United States, as black people we learned integration. We learned the ability to integrate. And look what hip hop, look what it's got us. It's got us being the number one culture in the world, a piece of our culture rather, being the number one culture in the world. Because for those that are integrated, hip hop is a piece of black culture. I'm not saying hip hop is black culture because I broke down how hip hop is a integration of all cultures that started from the black culture. So why would I go these other places without trying to integrate, without trying to learn the language, without trying to learn the culture, without trying to maybe learn how to salsa or learn how to wherever I go, but or be respectful wherever I go based on the laws of that place. I just think I'm shout you guys out in the room. I just think that I think people really need to have a sit down with themselves, and there's nobody in particular. Just feeling the energy in the room and the energy in the world right now, just like something I feel as though needed to be said, because I really think people really need to maybe turn the computer down, maybe go sit in a room or something, put on some music and just listen, and think, am I integrating or am I colonizing? When I talk about dating coaches, when I talk about people who travel, when I talk about black women in the United States, when I talk about white women in the United States, when I talk about Latin women overseas, or Latin women in the States, am I colonizing or am I actually integrating? Am I integrating with them? Am I having conversations and working together to help myself understand why they are the way they're saying? Because I'm really feeling like people are forgetting what we blacks went through. Because I think once you know what you went through, to want to put that on someone else willingly, I can't see the logic in it. I know I took forever to get to your comments. I just really wanted to get that off my chest, because it's like the energy in this world right now feel crazy, man. It feel crazy. But travel in the room. Colombia versus Costa Rica. Which one did I enjoy better? Keep it $1. All right, so now we're almost at 3 minutes, so I answer any questions you got. You guys and ladies, you can ask any questions you want that you think I can answer, and I'll give you an answer to them. Just put them in the chat. If you got anything about anything, just like this, we're over 30 minutes. I wanted to get it off my chest, and let's go. Again, Colombia versus Costa Rica. Which one did you enjoy better? Keep it $1. Here's the thing. When people say Colombia versus Costa Rica, it's hard for me to understand what they are trying to get me to answer, because to compare an entire country when I've only been to 5 places in that country, and to another country when I've only been to 2 places in that country, is a little bit more difficult than just saying one or the other. But I will tell you this. When it comes to an adventure, like going out somewhere or zip lining or being out in nature or seeing some wild animals, I had for myself, I had a better experience in Costa Rica. When it comes to how the women look and how the interactions are with the women in the dating situation, I had a better place. I had a better time in Colombia. Now, when I say Colombia, I've been to Medellin, I've been to Bogota, I've been to Cali, Colombia, I've been to Barranquilla, Colombia, and I've been to Cartagena, Colombia. And when I say Costa Rica, I've been to San Jose, Costa Rica, and I've been to Jaco, Costa Rica, just to give you guys some reference. When it comes to a place that I would want to live for a longer period of time, I would say Colombia, because in Colombia, depending on out of all the cities I've been to, I can get a better bang for my buck. In Costa Rica, I will have less need to speak Spanish than I would in Colombia, but I speak Spanish, so I prefer Colombia. And when in general, all the countries I've been to, all the cities in the country I've been to, versus Costa Rica. Hopefully that gave you some insight. Smith, what's going on? I get what you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, but this is basically from what Austin Hollerman is going through. I wouldn't be able to honestly put up. I wouldn't be able to honestly answer this because I haven't really watched a lot of Austin's stuff. I subscribe to him. His another black brother finding a way that works for him. But I wouldn't be able to understand what he's going through because I haven't really watched a lot of his stuff. Ty Meek, what's going on? Ty Meek, what's up, man? In Mexico right now? Okay. What part of Mexico you in, man? You expatting or you? I hope you integrating. I hope you're not colonizing. I hope you integrating. All right, yep. What's going on, Nick? Listen, it's just something I felt as though needed to be discussed because I think, and it's a lot of people who because of history of black people in the United States, I feel as though there are a lot of, and this is no malice towards the older crowd. Remember, I'm 38. So when I say older, I'm talking about 50 years old plus. There's no malice towards them. This is no disrespect. But I feel as though because of the history of the United States, a lot of elders are so scorned on what occurred, and they should be because of what occurred, that they can't see the future. They can't see past a certain point because of how scorned they are from what happened in the future. And like I said, they have every right to be if you really know history of black people in the United States. But because of their scornness, I feel as though once you get something in your head that is not beneficial for you, it's hard for you to see the full picture. It's like living in the United States, but never a lot of our elders, I mean 50 and plus, a lot of our elders have never really traveled outside of going on a vacation. They've never really traveled. So they never have gotten the opportunity to integrate with people from other countries who can show them how the world is outside of the world they know. You know, when I go places, I'm not saying it makes me better. I'm not saying it makes me worse. I'm just saying it's different because I interact with locals. Because when you interact with locals, you get more of a universal thing of understanding of how the world is versus the media, versus the government, versus the people who are the dictators, the victor, who have had this perspective of non-inclusive world travel and world history. So you get more of an honest opinion when you deal with more locals. That's why learning the language when you go places is so important. Because if you're only going by what the government, what the media, and what the non-inclusiveness of history is, well, then you're only going to have one mind state. This is not going to benefit you. So yeah, man, I think it's a topic that needs. I am an American. I am an African descendant of slavery. I'm attached to the United States. Here's the thing. Now, we talked about this before. We're gonna go on some side missions and stuff, so just bear with me, y'all. Hope you guys hit the like button. These don't even. I don't even care if these videos go viral or people ask or watch these. I just know this is a topic that I would want my son or my daughter or any kids I have in the future or anybody that's coming up below but behind after I come up to understand that this is a part of history. Me personally, I could never want to completely detach myself from the United States because I know the history of black people in the United States. I could never want to detach myself from the history of the United States because United States is #1 economy in the world, and I can use that as a benefit to help integrate me better other places. Yes, if you have more money and you have more money coming from the #1 economy in the world, it is easier for you to integrate in other countries when you have money. When you're broke, it's not as easy to integrate in these other countries because people look at you like, hey, you can't benefit me. Why would I need to help you? It's a fair exchange. Again, because people that the elders, and this is like I want to preface all this with saying I respect my elders. I'm so happy that my elders did what they did to get us where we at. They walked so I could fly. You know what I mean? Fly boy. They walked so I could fly, and I'm gonna fly, but I'm not. I'm gonna go back and show them there's a benefit to not walking when you can fly. And here it is, because a lot of the elders again didn't travel, right? So they didn't understand how powerful the United States is. Now, with all the corruption, with all the propaganda, with all the stuff that America does bad here to us black people in general, the fact that it is the #1 economy and it's the world's currency, and the fact that they do all this wild stuff overseas, it allows us black people in the United States as a general group of, if you took the wealth of all the black people in the United States and you averaged it out, and you took the wealth of all the black people anywhere around the world, the United States black people would be so much further as a whole. Not of course, you got Dangote in Nigeria, who has way more money than any black person in the United States. It's even our rich people like Robert, like got on BET. But as a median, as a middle or average of the wealth in Black America, it's way more than the average wealth in other Black countries. But why is that? It's because our ancestors, because our elders went through all that slavery that was free labor, that made America more powerful. All of our people went through all that stuff. So for me personally, I can never detach I would never detach myself from America and lose all that stuff that my ancestors went through. However, I will build in other countries. I will own a property in another country before I hopefully before I leave this earth. I will own different properties in the United States that produce me income, so I can take that income and travel the world and maybe have kids other places and maybe learn and integrate, not colonize, integrate with other countries. So yeah, again, I understand you say you're attached to the United States. I am too. But for the reason why I'm attached to the United States is because of the 400 years that my ancestors had to be I can't even say the word, to be, you know what I mean, to the stuff that they went through. I'm just gonna say the stuff that they went through. That's why I'm attached, and I'm not leaving America. I'm 38 years old right now. I own 2 cribs in New Jersey that bring me cash. I own a condo in Miami. I got an old school. I got a Jeep. I got cars. I got my kids in great schools. Yo, dog, this is because of my ancestors. But at the same token, I can appreciate them and show them that, hey, this way right here is more productive than the way y'all did. I listen, we just gonna talk today. Elon Musk is more. See, like I said, I don't even want to break down the fact that I don't even want to break down the stuff to people. Like I said, me personally, I consider myself Black. I never argue with people say, "Oh, I'm not this. You call me this. I'm not that." No, you can call me whatever you want to call me. I'm telling you what I call myself. Again, if you call me something different after I've told you what I call myself, then that makes you a colonizer. Because once again, what you're doing is, let's go back to the definition. What you're doing is, if I tell you that I'm considering myself Black and you say I'm African American, well, then I have to call you a colonizer because you fit by the definition, which says you're taking control of the area or country that's not your own, especially using force and sending people your own to live there. You're taking control of belief that I've already told you that I am not, and you're trying to switch it up. So that just makes you a colonizer. So I wouldn't even I wouldn't be mad at it. I can't be mad at it. It's just what it is. It is what it is. We are genetically mixed too. Listen. Oh, it's gonna be a long live because I like comments. I like comments that I can respond to and it makes me think. See, this is like still sharp and still. You guys say something, it makes me think. I respond back. You guys say something, we go back and forth. Here's the thing about being mixed. Here's the thing about being mixed in the United States. Here's the thing about being mixed in the Americas. And when I say the Americas, I mean Haiti. I'm also including Haiti, Dominican Republic, the Caribbean. I'm including South America, Central America. Here's the thing about being mixed in the Americas. Nowadays, people who are mixed can be mixed because they chose to be mixed. Follow me here. My son is mixed. My son's mother is European. I'm Black American. My daughter, her mother is she's mixed too. Her mother is from Ghana, born and raised in Ghana, came over here when she's a teenager. I'm from I'm from the United States, so as Black American and Ghana, it's still mixed. But the difference is that in the history, when you were mixed, it wasn't because you were because I don't want to laugh. It's not a laughing matter for a lot of people, but I'm just laughing because the miseducation in the United States doesn't teach a lot of people this. When you were mixed back in the day, it wasn't because your mother and father fell in love. It wasn't because they were having consensual intimacy. That wasn't the reason why you were mixed. You were mixed because the slave master came into the yard, took your mother, took her I can't even say the words, took her womanhood and had a baby who just came out more light-skinned than the mother was. And that's where, you know, when people say, oh, we're all mixed. Well, there's a difference between being mixed from love and being mixed from, because you can't say the word on YouTube, but being mixed from a force. So that's where, you know, the whole mixed thing, it can get a little bumbly. It can get a little bumbly. I try not to touch it because it can get a little bumbly. You know, it can go a lot of different ways. Coonery, something. Crooner, Ty Mac word. All right. Hip hop is an, oh my goodness, bro. Come on, man. Hey, I ain't been in jail, bro. I don't got dictionary words. Ty Mac, I ain't been in jail. Let me look up this word, bro. Hold up. Yo, bro. Hey, my man, bro. Hold up. Definition of amalgamation.
Here's the definition of amalgamation: the action, process, or result of combining or uniting.
Okay, yeah. So it's the same thing as integration, man. Listen, I ain't been in jail, y'all. I ain't been in jail. I've been arrested before. I ain't been in jail, bro. I ain't never been in jail, so I ain't never get a chance to read the dictionary and all that stuff, man. But yes, hip hop is integration, man. Hip hop is integration. Just like Ados is out. Yeah, exactly. But like I said, when I break down the mixes, mixing in the past it's far more different than mixing when it comes to ethnicities through childbirth in the future, y'all. It's far more different. Pros and cons to a short weekend trip. All right, here you go. Here goes some of the pros and cons to a short weekend trip. The pros is that you ain't got to worry about bringing a large budget of money. No matter where you go, whether you go from Brazil to Colombia to, it's different if you go to Dubai, Brazil, Colombia, or anywhere within a 9 hour, anywhere within a 6-hour flight or 7-hour flight, you pretty much can bring $2,000 and you can go on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and come back Sunday. 4 days, $2,000 mostly anywhere around this area will be great. You can go, you can have fun. You don't have to take a lot of days off of work. That's one of the pros to going on a short weekend trip. A con to going on a short weekend trip is that you can't go too far, because if I go to Dubai, it's going to be like a 12 to 14 hour flight, which means that by the time I get over there, I'm already basically missing 1 or 2 days of time. And then after I get over there, I got to come down off a jet lag. Or if I go to Thailand, and I go to Thailand, it's a 24 to with the stop, maybe 26-hour flight. And then I got to readjust to the time. And all that time, I only got one full day, and then I got to come back and do it again. So the major pros is that when you're going not locally around America on a short weekend trip, you can just ball out, have fun. You ain't got to worry about the money. But if you're going far, you might not be able to really enjoy it because you're still jet lagged. Dog nuts, what it do? I know I gotta catch up to y'all comments. I just want to really get deep into this conversation because it's a conversation that really needs to be had. Pimp Skywalker, shout out to Fly. When I win the lotto, I'll bless your pockets. I appreciate it, man. So I can live my dreams. You help me with mine. I appreciate it. Listen, the whole thing I tell people is this. Honestly, I've also played the lottery too. I'm not one of the people who, I'm too good for the lottery. But I do say this. Honestly, me earning the money that I've made in my life, I mean, at this point, it's not gonna make a difference because I'm already, I already hit $1 million. Me earning the money that I earned in my life made life that much better. If I had hit the lottery, I would have never gotten to I don't feel as though I would have ever gotten to the place where I'm at now. Because when you work hard for something and you work smart for something and you learn stuff along the way, I feel as though that actually is a better way to live than to just get a bunch of money at once. But at this time, I'm already where I need to be. I'm past where I wanted to go. Yeah, I could take a couple million. But yeah, man, definitely, man. Appreciate it. Travel Squad. Hey, yo, Travel Squad. I ain't check out your channel in a minute, yo. If you guys up here, make sure y'all subscribe to Travel Squad. He be having some dope content, man. He been traveling a lot around the world. And salute to his services, man. He been in the I forgot what was the army or the military, one or two. But yeah, definitely check out his channel, y'all. He said I'm implied to Carmen. 2 weeks chilling. Okay. If you apply to Carmen, make sure you check out Rocker's, man. Rocker's Jamaican Kitchen is dope, bro. Dope. And that's free promo. That's free promo, yo. Facts. They always complaining about how they're treated in the United States, but never travel to connect with people other countries. Now listen, again. I feel as though when people make statements on other people without really talking to them and trying to figure out how they feel, that's colonization. They're being colonizers, and I think that's unfair. And I'm not saying if it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's unfair, and I don't think that's the best way and the most productive way to help everyone as a people to succeed. You know what I mean? Now I know a lot of people say, "Oh my God, integration hurt Black people so much because when we were going through the the Malcolm X and the Martin Luther King times, and we integrated, it tore us down. When we were segregated, we had things, we had this. Let me ask you this question real quick. I feel as though these people don't understand war. They don't understand domination. Because if they really understood domination, I have 10 people. There's 100 people on this side. We could all fight like Spartans and die. Or we can integrate. And now where it was 10 and 100, well, now maybe there's 20 and 80. And then there's 30 and 70. And then there's 40 and 60. And people are starting to see different ways of life. Because through integration, we work together to find a better way to achieve a goal, a common task. But they're like, oh, we got the short end of the stick. Well, I mean, economically, you can't integrate fairly if you don't have any economics behind your integration. And this is where I don't think a lot of, again, not disrespecting my elders, it's just that what they did, what they walked to do, it helped me be able to create whatever I'm at now to learn to fly. A lot of our elders don't understand that if you are not economically equal, you will never be integrationally equal. The integration will never be equal if economically you're not there. Because if I don't have to get money from you, why would I be listening to you? So it's something that some people just not going to get over. And I understand, I respect it. I just try to show them a more integrated way of thinking. Again, let's see. Rubber dub. It said rubber dub, right? That's crazy. So true. When you broke, you can't do nothing. Listen. Tommy, I'm trying to get my parents their passports too, so they can come whenever I'm out the world while they still can. That's super dope, man. I mean, it's a sensitive subject, man. It's a sensitive subject because it's very difficult to teach a person who's older than you or wiser than you, in mind, to teach a person who's older than you how to do something new because they're not comfortable with it. A lot of people say, why do all these people stay in the States when there's so much stuff better overseas that they can really live their lives? And I just tell them, hey, you gotta relax. These people are so comfortable in the misery they know, they will never be forced to go to something that may not be as bad. Because you can't force somebody to put themselves in an uncomfortable position. That's just something they have to be willing to do. So when it comes to trying to, it's good to you maybe nudge them and say, hey, mom, dad, let me just take you on this trip real quick so I can show you something. But I wouldn't try to force them. Like I never say, hey, get your passport because this and this. You guys can live over here. You pay all this money for taxes here, and you can go over there and live free in a mansion. Because once you try to force them, then they want to fight against it because it's not what they know. It's not what they feel comfortable from. So, to me, it's like, that's why I tell people, listen, the Flyboy way, my channel, is not about showing you the best way to live. It's about showing you another way a way that worked for me, and that a way that may either work for you or help you find a way that'll work for you. That's why you'll never see me arguing with any other creator on YouTube. You'll never see me talking down about a person personally on YouTube, or a group of people on YouTube, because everyone is allowed to have their perspective and their way of life that works for them. And my way is no better. It's just a different way. Integrate, yeah, definitely. Oh, so, exactly. We'll always be attached, but I'll most definitely be in the building. Okay, I'm a little bit further back now. I didn't think that many people commented. All right, cool. Hey, Similar Travel Rap, what's going on, man? Let me see. My boy hit you up. He's in Costa Rica for the first time. Thanks for throwing him some information. Salute. I tell people all the time, listen, I got like almost 50,000, like 46,000 subscribers or something like that. But as long as I can, I respond to everybody. I don't charge for consultations. I don't charge for me to respond to you, to give you Easy Pass Pro, or tell you some things that I've learned around my journeys, because I feel as though when information is given freely, a lot of people say if you pay for information, you appreciate it more. But I feel as though if I put information behind a paywall, then me personally, this is my personal opinion. It's not in reference to anybody else. But if I put information that I learned behind a paywall, then how can I possibly better than how can I possibly feel as though I'm better than the people who enslaved my people for so many years, when they put the education behind the paywall of, the information behind the paywall of education, and they told black people in 200 years ago that we couldn't read. It was illegal to teach a black person to read 200 years ago. Punishable by death. And then when they allowed black people in the United States to read, they sent them to these horrible schools that you wasn't getting any education with. They put it behind the paywall. And then once they said, okay, we're going to send you to some better schools, well, now all of you black people can't go. Only certain black people can go. They put it behind the paywall again. And then they say, okay, we're going to feed you all this information in the media, but we're not going to tell you everything. We're going to tell you what you want to hear, the propaganda we want to hear. They put more truth behind the paywall again. Because until you're able to travel and see the world, which costs money, then you really never know what's true or what's not true. All you know is what you're being fed by the people who are in charge. If you're not allowed to question the system or question anything, then how can I possibly believe something 100% if you're not allowing me to question it if I have questions? So the reason why I never charge for consultations, the reason why nobody in this room right now can super chat me, the reason why I don't ask for donations, the reason why I don't put my knowledge behind a paywall is because I personally, knowing history of black people in the United States, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting this information behind a paywall, knowing that my people have been behind paywalls decade over decade over decade. And that's why right now, black people in the United States are far less economically, monetarily wealthy as we were 60 years ago. How can we be less wealthy than we was 60 years ago? Because the paywalls keep coming up. First they didn't let you, now the paywall's coming up. So me personally, 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, that means nothing to me. I'm already a millionaire. And I earned that. I earned that hard. Why do I need to charge for the information? No, everybody can get the information. So like I said, if you guys got any questions, you want to know anything about my YouTube, anything about I put on YouTube, anything I know about financial stuff like that, it might take 24 to 48 hours for me to get to you, because I'm telling you, I would show you guys, but I'm getting like 100 a day, bro. I get like 100 a day, and I still work. I still have a job. I still go to work every day. Like, you know what I mean? And I still got YouTube. I still got my kids. I still got to take care of real estate. I got to go to houses. I got to make sure Miami's good. I got a lot of stuff to do, but I take my time out and I respond to everybody, because I'm not doing what they did to my ancestors. I'm not putting knowledge behind the paywall so that you can't go up. All right, let me see where I'm at. I'm glad you're inspired. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Okay, I searched up Rockers and they ain't too far from where I'm from. Yeah, they slamming, man. Make sure you call first because, bro, it be packed. Honestly, like I think shout out to Where's Chuck, because honestly, Rockers was so packed, but it was a couple people who knew me on YouTube, right? And when they came up to me, they was like, "Oh, yo, yo, yo," and it was like, "Yo, yo, yo," and Where's Chuck was one of the people. The owner was there, and he seen everybody coming up to me, so he was like, "Yo, we pack right now. We usually have people call, but I'm gonna get you a seat. Just give me like 5 minutes, and I'll get you a seat." And he brought some tables, some chairs out, and he got me and my homie a seat. So you definitely want to call before you get down to Rockers to make sure you can get in there, at least get a reservation or something. My mom's is with it. My pops is an Army vet. Oh, he know. nah, bro. Ty, your pops like, nah, bro. You trying to set me up? I'm an Army vet and a Vietnam vet. I know what it is out there, and you trying to get me you trying to get me bumped. So he can't go on his dolo trips. Packing and traveling. Okay. Packing and travel rapping. Okay. Respect, my man. It's a great thing you've been doing. Positivity, awareness, and education and sharing information. Thanks, Travel Squad. The whole the whole thing is this, yo. Like, I feel as though in life, you ever again, I said this before, but hopefully you guys didn't get it and I won't be repeating myself. But when I was a kid, right, and I can only speak for me, I think a lot of us will understand this. But when I was a kid, I used to not like taking medicine, right? And my grandmother, she used to do this thing where like she would give me some applesauce, right? And I don't even know why they opened the pill, because now you can just eat the pill. But she used to give me some applesauce, right? Because I loved applesauce, right? And whenever I didn't want to take the medicine, she would like open the pill up in the applesauce, mix the applesauce around, and then I would eat the applesauce, and I would act like I would kind of like not even taste the medicine, right? Well, that's the same thing I do on my channel. I entertain people through my life. I tell my life story in an entertainment fashion, which is the applesauce. But then I have moments like this when I try to show people a different way of thinking, or I have my financial independence section, or I have my section with me and my kids, my son and my daughter, so I can show you guys that Black dads exist in the United States, or show you a different way. So that's me putting the medicine, the financial stuff, this stuff right here, town hall, me with my kids, that's me putting the medicine in the applesauce of when you guys see me with these amazingly beautiful women around the world, or y'all see me taking these crazy trips. Because I don't want to be all applesauce. We've had that, so it's easy to get 1 million followers. It's easy to do all that stuff if I'm just giving you applesauce. But it's the medicine that's going to keep you healthy, and that's going to make you be able to teach your children just the way I'm teaching my children. So yeah, appreciate it, man. Rockets is fire. Yo, that roster pasta. Word is born, man. Word is born. J Mar, what's good, man? We almost at an hour. So you guys, like I said, you guys got any other comments on anything left? Any questions about anything? I'll give you guys another 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, we're gonna sign out. We're gonna be going. I just wanted to make sure, and of course I didn't monetize it yet. I gotta monetize it later, but I just wanted to get this off my chest, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's see. Do I utilize TikTok? TikTok is challenging to get views. Okay, so here's the thing. Mixing as if you was just here, mixing the applesauce with the medicine of TikTok is very hard, man. In other words, in terms, it's very hard if you have a message to get bigger on TikTok. I mean, yes, you can do this financial guru thing on TikTok and maybe get a little bit bigger, but this kind of plays a part. I feel as though on TikTok this plays a part. When I do like this, fellas, I mean, like, colorism does play a part on TikTok a little bit. It's been proven to a lot of people. I mean, not proven, but said by a lot of people. I still do have a TikTok, but I'm not on it a lot. Yeah. Out of all the places I've traveled, Which place has the best women mentally and physically? Two-part question. Again, I tell everybody, when you say best, I say best is relative. It depends on what you like. Now, if it's going by what I like, I have to then say again, I won't be able to just give you a country. I have to do a little bit of a breakdown. So even mentally and physically, I'm guessing you mean how they treat you versus how they look. Because if I'm wrong, then I'll try to understand it later. I guess you mentioned it, but mentally versus physically, I'm guessing how they treat you versus how they look. Here's the thing: I'm not going to be able to give you just a country because each country has different parts of the country that women act differently. If you want a woman who's going to give you a more of a girlfriend, wifey vibe, like a vibe where they're real cool with you, and they may not look the best. They will be like an 8. You can get an 8. 8.5 might be the top. I would say go to Barranquilla, Colombia. And this is out of all Barranquilla, Colombia will have those 8.5s that will treat you. And I mean, they won't, you know how you say, oh, they treat you good, but then they ask for money and stuff. I'm to this day, I still talk to the one, and Barranquilla, Colombia was one of the first was the first place I've been in Colombia. I to this day, I still talk to one of the women that's in my videos. Shout out to Mimi. I just spoke to her yesterday, and she still kept that same energy. Never asked me for any money. Never tried to, oh, I'm sick, Poppy. This can't be help you out. None of that stuff. And when I was there, you can even in the videos you can see the kind of vibe. She's holding my hand. She's grabbing me to make sure the cars don't hit me. So in my perspective, Barranquilla, Colombia is that place you'll go for a woman to give you that girlfriend true love experience, the true love experience. The looks though, you're gonna give 8.5. I'm seeing is top. I can't see nothing over 8.5. Now, when you're talking about physically, we have to break it down two different ways. Are you talking about physically as far as I'm paying for this time, or physically as far as I can physically get you and I can get you without giving money for your time? I'll give you both of them. If I'm talking about a place where you can get a woman who's physically the most attractive, who will be with you without you coming out of your pocket, I'm going to say Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I haven't been to Sao Paulo, Brazil yet. I mean, I've been to Sao Paulo. I haven't been to I was supposed to go. I've only been to Rio and Sao Paulo. I haven't been to, my goodness. I was supposed to go to Carnival the other day last year. But I would say Rio, you will find that woman who looks super good and will be the girlfriend type, like the real girlfriend type. Like she won't try to ask you for money when you get back home. She'll want to go out. If she knows a little bit of English, that'd be better. But Rio de Janeiro will be that place. If you're talking about physically looking around the world, where the best women that is going to be that you could spend money for their time, the pros, yo, you ain't gonna, I don't care what nobody say. I'm telling you firsthand, bro. I've been to Dubai, I've been to Iceland, I've been to France, I've been to England, all throughout United Kingdom. I've been to Trinidad, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Dominican Republic, I've been to Costa Rica, I've been to Canada, bro. Cartagena, Colombia, you're not gonna beat that, bro. I don't Cartagena, Colombia, you're not gonna beat that when it comes to physical looks for pros. You're not gonna beat that. The collection is just too wide. You got Venezuelan, you got Colombians from all over the United States. I mean, all over Colombia. You got dark skin. You got European looking straight hair. You got blonde hair. You got curly frizzy hair. You got, bro. You just not. This is my perspective. You're just not gonna beat Cartagena when it comes to pros physically. Amir. So the Army letting me pick where I get stationed. I was thinking of Texas. Bro, I like Texas. I like Houston. I don't know Texas. I like Houston. I think the market in Houston is super expensive now. if you're going to still go with that strategy of buying a place, Houston is a better choice than than Virginia or somewhere on the East Coast. So I don't know your other options, but yeah, I like Houston. I like Houston. I like Houston. I don't know about Austin. I don't know about Austin. Austin's got a lot of people from California there right now, so and they got the Tesla factory, so that might be kind of hard to get into that real estate aspect with that positive like we talked about. But yeah, I like Houston, so hope that helped. I just recently flipped my life into full traveler. This channel was one of the ones that helped me. So, appreciate it, Tommy. I probably Tommy appreciate it, man. Listen, I just want to be able to give people that stepping stone because, like I said, I'm not the ex. If you're looking for somebody to expat, something like that, I'll point you in the right direction. If you're looking to retire, I'll point you in the right direction. But I feel as though I am the connector. I connect people from here, from the States, that they come here, they finally learn about travel, and then they go to somebody like Ace Live, or they go to somebody like Vagabond Awake, or they go to somebody like Telemade Dreams, who have been living in other places for long periods of time and can show you that. But I'm like the metro station or whatever you want to call it. What's your thoughts on having merch as a YouTube creator? I think it's very important that you do. If you're a YouTuber, like I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I don't sell because it's a lot of time consuming. But I do believe if you're going to do YouTube for real, if you're going to be doing YouTube to be doing YouTube, if you're going to be a content creator, like to be doing a content creator, yeah, I think it's important that you try to sell merch because once you show that you can sell merch, you can show your advertisers that you can sell their merch. If you can sell their merch, you get more profit. So yeah, definitely. Me personally, I'm taking a different route with the whole Netflix thing. Yeah, I haven't been to Germany either. When's the next Black Man's Guide? Probably 2024. Because remember, this year I'm doing the film festival run. This year I'm trying to get my film on Netflix, and the way I'm trying to do that is to I'm ready. My Black Man's Guide series has millions of views on YouTube. I've hit that wall. I've hit that wall where I needed to hit. But now I'm trying to introduce my content to another side of the film side, because there's always a separation between film and TV, web series and stuff, and YouTube content. There's always a separation, and I'm in the middle because my web series, The Black Man's Guide to World Travel, it can go on this stuff, but everything else that I put, my vlogs and stuff, it's YouTube. So I'm trying to bridge that gap. So the next Black Man's Guide won't be to 2024, and I believe it should be Thailand. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, he recently enlisted. Planning rehabilitation. Nice. All right, what's a better place? Costa Rica, Tulum, or all right, so that I live live. I think you might have just came in now, so I'll try to give a summary. But we expressed the whole best thing before. Best is relative to what you like. It also is relative to what you're looking to do when you go there. But also, you put Costa Rica, but you got to put if you're gonna compare Tulum, Mexico, that's a city in Mexico, you got to compare it to a part of Costa Rica. Are you saying is San Jose better than Tulum, Mexico? Is Haku Beach better than Tulum, Mexico? And better in the sense of what are you looking for to go and experience? And I could probably give you more information on that. You mentioned you used to rap. Let us hear something. I have a whole video playlist. Matter of fact, I can even show y'all on my what's name, man. Like, hold on, real quick. This is just me showing you guys. Hold on, real quick. Hold on a second. I mean, we over an hour, so I'm just showing them this. I'm gonna answer the rest of the questions, and we can get up out of here. Oh, don't play that. All right. If you look on my page, can you guys see this right here? Let me make sure you can see this. Oh, let me take this now. If you look on my page right here, man, I got a whole section right here, called "Dare to Be Different" mixtape videos, and this is my only mixtape I've done You got people like T-Pain. Let's see. Why does sound not playing? I'll play some of these before we go because we got some time today.
Fresh. Good job, man. Good stuff. I really like the stuff, man. I feel like that was something different. It was something good, you know what I'm saying, man? You know, but that's T-Pain's opinion. So got Mike Lee right here, my homeboy, you know. So, you know, we listening to it together, man. And, you know, I don't want to just give you one opinion and say that's what it is. So, I mean, my only thing, man, is the mixes were a little weak. I feel like the mixes could have been better, especially on the production side. You know, I felt like the beats could have been stronger, and they just, you know, they didn't pound the way I would have felt like you should have been on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you need to be on stronger beats and stuff like that. Secondly, I would dial back on how many samples you use. You're a producer. That's pretty much what I'm saying. I don't want you to, you know, put out an album and not get any.
Fresh, what's up, man? It's your boy Don Cannon. I listen to the joints. I think that I want to download the whole mixtape off that Piff and get a whole feel for it. I like the snippets so far. The beats are kind of cool. I think you could get a little better production. The voice is on point. It flows on point. Your topic is on point. I feel like you need to make a statement on what your campaign is going to be, and that's telling people more about yourself. You know, introing and telling people, yo, this is what I stand for in hip hop.
What you gonna get out of this mixtape? Back to take 3 steps forward.
What up? It's Drum. Music sound good. Fuck with it. I think you just need to, you know, gain your fan base, gain your audience, put your work in. Takes time, but I'm gonna give you a little drop for you, so you can say Drum. Give you a drop. You ready? Hey yo, what up? It's one of Miss Thanksgiving DJ Drama. Shout to the homie Fresh. Dare to be different. 1. All right, don't say I never did nothing for you. Fuck with me.
Fresh was good, man. DJ Sense. Listen to your music, man. I like your flow. I like.
I want to play one more. And we continue.
Keith, what up?
What up, my nigga? Hey, man. Hey, lean back on that motherfucking shit a little bit more. My nigga, ride that beat, man. You already got what it takes, my nigga. Ride that shit, man. Don't be scared of that motherfucker, man. Get that shit, you know, put that pen to the pad, my nigga. Get all that shit you living off your motherfucking chest, man. Baby mama, motherfucking drama, hating ass niggas in the hood, man. Put that shit on these motherfucking beats, man, and ride that motherfucking track, man. Holler back at us, man.
Yeah, see, and exactly what you
niggas
said.
sitting on the fucking ground in front of motherfucking Smurf Blue Impala, nigga. What is cool about that shit, man?
He cool.
And how the fuck a hood nigga buy Impala, nigga? I know you down there with the packs, nigga. Rap about that shit, man.
New Jersey, huh?
Yeah, some real shit, man. And holler back, man. Hey, son.
Yeah, y'all. So like I said, it was fun when I did it, but I realized a long time ago that like it wasn't the rap. It wasn't that I wanted to rap. I didn't really never want to be a rapper. My whole it sounds so whack. When I was a kid, bro, the only thing I wanted to be was I wanted to be alive, and I didn't want to be homeless. I didn't really have no ambition to do anything else in my life when I was younger. I just didn't want to be homeless, and I wanted to be alive, bro. Growing up in New Jersey, bro, and East Orange, New Jersey, sometimes, and moving between houses and dealing with what I went through in my life, bro, you don't look to certain things. So it was a little bit different, but I don't do rap anymore. I did rap in Palenque because the guy from Palenque rap, but I don't do rap anymore because it puts you in a box. It puts you in the box of having to use your words in a world where everything is visual, and it limits you. So that was that. Let's see. Where the end of that? Yeah, Columbia woman fine. I'm gonna get to the end of your comments. We're gonna end this video over an hour. Vagabond Awake, it was my main one. Yeah, man. Listen, I put everybody that I said on my channel reference, fresh channels, because I feel as though, again, I see myself as the bridge between people first traveling for the first time or people not knowing about travel to the people who are masters in the craft of travel. Again, like Vagabond Awake, like Ace Live, like Telemade Dreams, like people who can focus on one part. Like you want to know about DR, I can send you to Telemade. You can go to Flip Flop also. You if we want to go to you want to know about Colombia, you can go to uh Ace Live, Mommy Travels, you can go to stuff like that. I feel as though I'm that bridge. So yeah, you can do it, Fly. Looking for it. I appreciate it, man. Salute. Mia Parker says, Fly, but you got to get to South Africa, like Tanzania, Durban, and the women out there thicker than a snicker. No, I definitely plan on getting in South Africa. I told people before, the main reason why, a lot of people like, y'all, you're black, you don't go to Africa, you haven't been to Africa yet. But the main reason why is because trips like Africa and trips like Thailand and trips like the Philippines and trips like Australia and trips like even when I go back to Europe, those trips take you. If I really want to get a good feel of it, I need to do 1 to 2 weeks. And I got kids and I grew up without a father. So I don't really want my children to have to do that. So it takes a lot more planning for me than somebody who may not have a kid. It takes more planning for me than somebody whose situation might be different with their kids than my situation. But like I said, my daughter, I see her almost every week or every other week. My son, I see him every other week. So it's like, and if something happens, like my daughter might call me, hey, Dad, I need you to do something. I got to be there. My son, Dad, can you do this? I got to be there. So, these trips to like South Africa and I mean, these trips to Africa and stuff like that, I'm definitely going to do it in the future. Hopefully I'm still around. But yeah. J Mass, what's going on, man? Salute. Yeah, that the song was in my intro. Yeah, they be cool, man. I actually, honestly, is all I asked for from them, and it was some more stuff they said that I could like as far as send me more stuff, do this, but at that time I was starting to transition out because I did that when I was 29. I'm 38 now. I was transitioning out of wanting to do rap. I wanted to do rap because rap at the time was what allowed me to get my message out. That's why my content is all the same. Like the way I rap is the way I talk now. I didn't have this, and there's nothing wrong with it. I didn't have this, oh, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm selling packs and stuff. No, I've always been the same way I am now. But I'm very good as a wordsmith. I appreciate it, man. Wow, these big accomplishments. It's cool. Like I said, to me, the celebrity of it is cool, especially when it was like DJ Drama with the heat, because that's when DJ Drama did that drop. He had just dropped Lil Wayne's Gangsta Grills. He had just dropped Lil Wayne's Gangsta Grills, so it was a big thing back then for me. But it just didn't make me want to be a rapper. It didn't make me want to rap because it limits what you can do. Yeah. Okay, I made it to the end. All right, y'all. All right, so I appreciate everybody for coming in the room. Again, this whole topic was about integration versus colonization. I just hope that more people really look at the definition of colonization and integration, and they decide that a better productive, or more productive, not better, but a more productive way of living life is through integration. And yes, I know it's hard if you're an elder because of what we've been through as Black people in the United States, but I don't know if somehow you can step outside of yourself, look, travel, do something. You'll see that the world outside of the United States has been open for integration for the longest. If you understand how hip hop is where it is now, not through colonization, but through integration, then you can understand how if we want to grow as a people, as Black people, as people of poverty, as travelers, if we want to grow as people who are dating in the States, people who may, don't try to take over area with your train of thought. Try to like listen to what other people say and maybe say, hey, even if we don't match, I respect what you say, and I'm not going to try to colonize your train of thought. But it's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOY. WAY. Don't ask why. Just check out the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.